Breaking news, we continue to follow two fires that are forcing people out of their homes. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Lisa Gonzalez.
And I'm Ty Steele. It's already been a busy day. One fire is in Butte County. The other one is in El Dorado County. Let's start with El Dorado County, south of Placerville. This one is called the Moccasin Fire because it started on Moccasin Trail. Here's a look from an Alert California wildfire camera. The fire started around 3:15 this afternoon. It started as a structure fire and then it spread to grass and brush. It burned at least 15 acres with a moderate rate of speed. So here's a live look at the evacuations. Red is in order, as you can see right there in the middle of your screen, and yellow, the area surrounding that red region, is a warning.
And now we continue to follow this fire in Butte County that started near Cherokee and Thompson Flat Cemetery Roads near Oroville earlier today. Take a look at this time-lapse video from an Alert California camera, and you can see how much smoke it was putting off. A pretty big smoke plume. This one is called the Thompson Fire because of the location of where it started. Here's another vantage point that shows just the past 30 minutes or so. Hundreds of acres have already burned. So here's a look at the evacuation map. The areas highlighted in orange are under an evacuation order. The areas in yellow are under an evacuation warning.
Now let's bring in meteorologist Heather Waldman for a closer look at where the fire is and the conditions that we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, and of course it's a hot, dry and windy day, especially for the Sacramento Valley. Here's where the fire started. This is the Feather River. The city of Oroville is to the south and west of where the fire began. It started on the north edge of the Feather River here. And I want to tilt the map here just so you can get an idea for the terrain. A lot of steep canyons, a lot of grass, a lot of brush. So this fire initially burned up this canyon, but there was a report of a spot fire on the south side of the Feather River where there's a lot more brush and some residential areas there as well. Broader view shows again where the fire is burning. The winds here have been coming out of the northwest, gusting to 25 miles per hour. This area included in our red flag warning, one of several fires that we're tracking here this afternoon. You heard about the Moccasin Fire there in El Dorado County. Also watching the Denverton Fire. That's in Solano County. That is being held relatively well under control by fire crews there. We're also watching the Toll Fire that is in northwestern Napa County. And of course, the red flag warning continuing as we have the dry north breeze. That's relaxed a little bit in the afternoon, as it typically does. But later tonight into early tomorrow morning, it will pick back up, especially for the west side of the valley. We'll get wind gusts between 30 and 35 miles per hour along into the west of I-5. East side of the valley, the wind's not quite as strong, but in Butte County around Oroville, there will be some gusts overnight tonight around 20 miles per hour. As we go through Wednesday, we still have the north flow, but that wind is going to back off. So that red flag warning will be allowed to expire at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. But keep in mind, with the hot, dry air we have continuing through this week, the fire risk will go down some after tomorrow, but it will linger through the rest of this week, especially with the Independence Day holiday. Back to you.
Thank you. And crews are racing to stop a brush fire in Napa County. This one has also triggered some evacuations. This is burning northeast of Calistoga. Cal Fire says at least 50 acres have burned. 300 firefighters are battling these flames, and they are working to build containment lines from the air and the ground, as you see them dropping retardant there. About 100 people have been impacted by the evacuations.
And crews are keeping a close eye on a fire that burned grass near Travis Air Force Base. The fire started just after noon. It put up a lot of smoke for about an hour before it laid down nearly 2 hours later. The fire burned 470 acres.
Because of the fire danger, PG&E has shut off power to parts of Northern California. This is affecting hundreds of customers right now. And here's a look at their outage map from PG&E. You can see those little purple triangles there. Those are the people that do not have power because of a planned power shutoff. They are scattered and in pretty rural areas. PG&E has said the shutoffs could impact about 12,000 customers in parts of 10 counties. Before they turn power back on, the wind has to calm down and crews have to inspect the equipment for possible damage.
But keep in mind, those people don't have power in the middle of this heat wave. Temperatures are soaring today, hotter than yesterday. Live look here at Fairfield, Sacramento in the middle, and that's Stockton on your right. Let's bring back in meteorologist Heather Waldman for the temps right now.
Yeah, and that north breeze contributing to the hotter conditions today. It dries the air out. It helps to warm the temperatures even further. So these numbers up anywhere from 5 to 8 degrees compared compared to this time yesterday. 107 in Yuba City, 106 in Fairfield. We're between 104 and 105 from Sacramento down through Modesto and even into the foothills, approaching the triple-digit mark here this afternoon with probably another hour or so of warming to go. We'll continue to follow those temperatures, but as we go through the rest of this week, including the Independence Day holiday on Thursday, the heat's not going anywhere. Here's a snapshot of tomorrow for the Valley. Temperatures likely in the 80s as early as 7 a.m., 90s by 9 a.m., and expect to be in the triple digits from late morning all the way through the late evening. That does include a few hours where the temperature will be close to 110 degrees. That would be record heat for tomorrow, and there may be more on the way. I'll show you the extended forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Heather, thanks again. And with this string of triple digits, people will be blasting their air conditioning, but if certain simple fixes are not made, that can lead to more issues and more costs.
That's right. KCRA 3's Orko Manna is live from Cal OES. So, Orko, they're doing a lot there, including monitoring electricity usage this week, correct?
Yeah, Lisa, back here at the Cal OES State Operations Center, they're working with local and state partners to do a variety of things, as you mentioned, including seeing how electricity usage is impacting the grid. You can see some maps and some data points up on this wall here on these screens, again, here at the Cal OES State Operations Center. And we know that there's more pressure on the grid this week because of the heat wave, and a lot of that usage is because of air conditioning systems. We spoke with RPM HVAC Service, a family-owned company out of Roseville. They tell us they're seeing a huge spike in demand this week. I'm told they've gotten 60 calls within the last 24 hours, and they expect to get even more as the heat wave goes on. Their crews are working day and night to meet the demand because so many people across the region are finally turning on their air conditioning in the wake of these triple digits and noticing that things are not working. Owner Bob Fow says the most simple thing people can do is change and clean your air filters. If you don't, that can lead to more issues with your AC and more costs.
The filter, when dirty, when it needs replaced, restricts airflow. And airflow is the number one cause of an air conditioner malfunctioning. When you're not moving air, you're not removing heat.
Yeah, and because of the high demand right now, if you call different AC and HVAC companies, you might have to wait a little bit to get your AC fixed or to replace your AC. Having no cool air right now is definitely not a situation you want to be in, especially this week with the triple digits that we're seeing. But Cal OES says they're also working with, again, their partners to come up with different cooling stations across the region to help folks out if that's the case. Reporting live in Sacramento County, Orko Manna, KCRA 3 News.
So, Orko, I know a big question that we're getting into the newsroom is what can people do to save money when they're using their air conditioner during a time like this? Do you have any tips?
Yeah, so I spoke to SMUD and they say a good number that they're recommending is setting your thermostat to 78 degrees. That's a good middle ground to stay comfortable, but also to save money. They also shared other ways that you can save on your electricity bill during these triple digits. I'll have more on that coming up tonight at 6.
Sounds good. We'll see you at 6, Orko. Thank you. We've got much more information on the forecast, the cooling centers, power outages, health dangers, all of it posted in one place online. Easy for you to find. Just use the KCRA 3 app or go to KCRA.com. If you scan the QR code that is on your screen, it will take you right there.